So in your most recent film, what happened with you and Victoria Doberman?
With Victoria?
Yeah.
Oh, Victoria, we met in Kiev, and she's great.
Fantastic dancer,
Really,
no?
she's a great dancer. She was with her boyfriend, and
Her boyfriend's a beautiful dancer too.
also a beautiful dancer. They were doing Swan Lake together at the Kiev Opera House,
Wow.
and we're in touch. We would like to do a project together. It's just about which project and when, and how the details come together.
And the casting for your most recent film, they were great. How did you do the
Yeah,
casting?
they're super
there?
cool. I guess just to drop a few names. There's an agency called Cat B in Kiev, and I work with the same producer every time, Pasha Buryak, and he introduced me to this agency, and we're always casting through them. They have kind of I don't know, sort of an alternative take on models and stuff. They're beautiful people, but they're also a little more interesting looking, like they have a thing to them, and they're very into new faces, so they're always refreshing their talent and adding new people. And so this project was the same. We worked with them, and they did a great job. It wasn't a commission, it was a personal film, but we worked together with Anton Belinsky, and he contributed a lot of his time, his clothes, and models. He helped out a lot, and it was great.
So what are you working on now? Let's talk about your feature film.
Oh, sure. That one. The one that nobody's ever seen, except for
I
you.
haven't seen it. I loved it.
Thank you very much.
And
Yeah.
it got the best reviews. Come on. Hollywood Reporter usually rakes people through the coals.
We have a very, very nice Hollywood Reporter review. It's excellent. And all of our reviews were all pretty good across the board.
What about distribution?
We have distribution, We have distribution in the States. It's available on Amazon Prime right now if you want to watch it.
What's the name of it?
The name is Softness of Bodies.
And your name again?
My name is Jordan Blady.
Okay, so it's going to be in theaters, so?
The film will not be in theaters.
Why?
We had one.
Why?
I don't really have that answer.
To me, it's like Jim Jarmusch meets Sean Baker.
Those are two filmmakers I really love and admire, so that's quite a compliment. Maybe down the line, if I continue to make films and people watch and like these films, then it could of course be re-released or repackaged or.
Like Jerry Schatzberg with Puzzle of the Downfall Child. It took 20 years.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many ways that it could resurface later on, and I hope it does. I'm proud of it, and everyone did a good job.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, it should be cool.
Good. Also has like Cassavetes kind of touch to it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if I can agree with you, but I do appreciate the compliments.
I feel it. So are you working on another feature film? You are, aren't you?
Yes, I'm working on two different ideas right now, trying to prepare. I think it's kind of ambitious to say we'll try to shoot in March or April of next year because nothing is locked down, but that's my ambitious
Do you have the
hope.
money?
No.
What kind of budget are you looking for?
I would say I would do it for $500,000 to $3 million. Would be totally fair.
Yeah.
Totally easy to execute those kinds of numbers. Of course, it depends exactly where the script goes and exactly what ends up happening, but somewhere in that wheelhouse would be fantastic.
And you like to do films based on some experience, more or less, you've had.
Yeah, that's true. I feel most of my work has been based on, it's like living has been the research. It sounds a little corny, but like,
No, but
you know
that's
what I mean? I've been abroad for these last 4 years, and everything is, it's, I guess the work is in a way trying to make sense of the experiences, if that makes sense.
So what can you say what the theme is? Or you want to hide it?
I can say that I am really into the idea of desperation right now. Desperation as a theme. I don't know. I love it. I find human desperation to be really fascinating across the board. You know, whether if you're looking at, I don't know, trying to get Instagram followers or the climate crisis. You know, it's sort of this. You know what I mean? Like there's this similarity of like this urgency to have everything, and you know, in the case of like something like the climate crisis, it's sort of the first time we're dealing with a very tangible, you know, like end of the world scenario. I don't mean to say it with a smile. It's a horrible thing, but it's so. It's such a bizarre thing to make sense of, you know?
Did you read that scandal about friends of Blady de Tokyo saying horrible things about Greta, like something like they should kill her, or I don't know what.
Why?
He's no longer part of Blady de Tokyo.
Good.
But what are your thoughts on Greta?
You know, I'm a big Democracy Now! Listener. You know, this podcast, this news organization. They're independent news. They're based in the States. They're not funded by anyone else except private dollars. And I first learned of Greta through them. I want to say a year or two ago or something. So I don't want to say I'm like early to the game with Greta before, you know, she was on the cover of like the New York Times or whatever, but the second I heard about her, I was just very excited that somebody was getting attention for, I mean, it's just such a, I love her, and I'm very happy that she seems to be getting the attention that she's getting, and even the Blady de Tokyo thing that you just mentioned, even though it's disgusting, it's kind of cool, because if people aren't hating you in a public sphere, you're not really, you know what I mean? Like, you're not really making the impact that you need to be making, so in a way, it's cool, you know, and I don't know, I mean, it's just, it's wild that we have to be turning to the logic of like a 16-year-old to like lead us on this path, you know? If like, I always just think about it as like if aliens or like another life form are watching us, you know, like looking at our planet, and they can see that we already know where things are headed, and we can't do anything about it. We don't seem to be able to, you know, change the path, and, you know, what does that say about us? And I don't know, did you read that? I guess I'm getting a little off topic. Did you read that Jonathan Franzen New Yorker article?
No, but I've read his books. I know him. What did he
He basically, he has this, if I'm not totally misinterpreting it, it seemed like the thesis of his article was that we should stop pretending that we can prevent, I believe it's like the 2-degree drop, or the 2-degree rise, and if we accept that we can't prevent that, then maybe we can begin a more realistic strategy towards reducing the devastation of climate change going forward. Obviously, the internet was like in an uproar over this article because everybody thinks that that's a little too pessimistic or something. And
realistic?
it is realistic. I can't say it's hard for me to fully endorse that viewpoint because I don't know what the best way is to motivate people. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the best way moving forward is. I don't know if a little blind optimism is necessarily a bad thing, you know? And bringing it back to Greta, I love how, like, Greta, and I think this is what a lot of people really admire about her, she sees it in a very black and white way. You know, they mention her autism a lot in all of the articles, and I think it's they relate it to her being able to view the situation in a very objective way and just black and white, like this is the problem and this is how we have to go forward, and I think that's cool, and I don't know if that I don't know if the Franzen thesis necessarily lines up with that, you know? I'm not sure, but anyway.
So before I let you go, where ideally would you be shooting your next feature?
Well, ideally we'll be shooting it in Ukraine.
Okay.
That's kind of the rough plan. It's kind of if we go forward with the story, it's sort of like a half American, half Ukrainian type story, and it would be shot mostly there. That would be the plan.
Are you able to get money from the Ukraine also?
It's possible. There are definitely interested parties there that could contribute to a film like this, and you know, they're all being considered moving forward.
So you wrote the script?
The script is not finished. The script is in process.
When it is, can I read it?
Can you read it?
Yeah.
Sure, if you want. If you want to be bored.
Well, hopefully I won't be bored.
Yeah, of course. Sure, of course you can read it. Of course.
Thank you.